From giant banana spiders to friendly little jumping spiders, we've gotten a look at some of Louisiana's wildest looking spiders. But when you go past the bayous that this state is known for and into the upland pines, you'll find habitat and arachnids that you probably never thought were here. Hey guys, I'm Zachary Gray, and today we're exploring the wilderness areas of central Louisiana's national forest in search of tarantulas, and seeing exactly why you shouldn't fear these animals if you ever encounter one. These rocky outcrops are some of my favorite habitat to look for all sorts of wildlife, including reptiles, insects, and of course, arachnids. All these little limestone ledges are really good for centipedes and scorpions. Oh, speaking of which, there's a little scorpion out right there. Hey buddy. There we go. You guys saw from my Arizona bark scorpion video that I'm not a big fan of these guys. Now, three-striped bark scorpions aren't dangerous by any means. While this is not the little venomous arachnid that we're looking for out here, they still are very cool. They love these little limestone ledges out here, just kind of hanging out. Very cool species, not what we're looking for. Very annoying to handle, as you can see right there. I might just leave him right there and move on. This has got to be some of my favorite habitat out here, man. Rocks, longleaf, lots of grassland savanna. This is where your tarantulas are going to be. This is where your big wolf spiders are going to be. Recluses are out here. Lots of snakes, lots of cool lizards too that I've never seen before. This habitat's awesome. You've always got to be careful when flipping rocks for wildlife. Not just for the animal's sake, but also for your own. Because it only takes one bad moment, one slip up, and you're in trouble. Big rock on ledge.
Okay. Let's see it.
Let's go.
I hope you're right.
I was gonna be so cool if it happened. Look, there's where he's supposed to be.
It's more than 150 pounds.
Ow! No, I'm not. Peck you rock.
Alright.
Dude, Thriller was there for a second.
Ow! I actually just badly injured myself.
Oh, really?
My whole fingernail came off.
Ooh.
Like the whole thing. The whole thing was gone.
Oh.
We just got back to the vehicle. Nothing too terrible happened. Flipping some rocks, and I might blur this out, but I lost my fingernail to a rock. I think we got that on video, actually.
I think you can pee on it to get rid of some of the rock venom.
The rock venom?
Yeah.
Definitely not one of my better moments. Just goes to show that it only takes a split-second mistake for an injury to happen. After a little bit of first aid, it was back to the ridges to look for spiders. Woo! Little tarantula. Have a look at this little guy. Ooh. It's quick. Here we have youngster, not necessarily a juvenile, but just a smaller Texas brown tarantula. They get a good bit bigger than this, probably 2 or 3 times the size, but not particularly the habitat you think about having Texas brown tarantulas in. Typically you're thinking out west in the grasslands, scrubland habitats sometimes. You'd mostly think desert for a spider like this, but sure enough, they're here, central Louisiana. Mostly going to be utilizing these rocky outcrops along the longleaf savanna, so they're not really up in the sandy substrate, they're not really in that flatland area. They're going to be on these rocky ridge areas. Because there's not a lot of habitat for these guys, they actually are listed as endangered for the state, but it's really more that their habitat is endangered, that the habitat is protected, rather than the spider itself, because there's going to be a lot of tarantulas getting up and along these rock faces here. Mostly going to be feeding on little bugs under these rocks, or crickets, other smaller spiders, virtually anything they can get their hands on. Now the bite from a tarantula is not something you have to deeply worry about. For one, you can see here I picked the spider straight up off the ground. This is not a pet, this is straight off the ground, and they are not aggressive whatsoever. But let's say a tarantula did bite you for some strange reason. It's not something you have to typically worry about unless you had an allergic reaction. Obviously, if you ever do get bit by anything, monitor it. And if you ever do have any adverse reactions to any kind of bug bite, you gotta seek medical assistance pretty much immediately. But as far as medically significant spider bites go, he wouldn't even be on my mind. Really awesome little spider. I really would like to find one a bit bigger than this out here, so we're gonna go ahead and put this one back, keep looking for more, but that is our first little Texas brown tarantula for the day. Nice little early spring surprise. See, bud? Boop, boop, boop. We actually don't know a lot about the tarantulas in this area, but it seems like this area is a lot more similar to the habitat out west than the rest of the state. This is why you'll get all this rare wildlife, coral snakes, weasels, giant centipedes, and all this other western wildlife right here in these rocky outcrops. It just goes to show how important habitat is for wildlife and a healthy environment. Ooh, we'll take that. That is a nice little tarantula. Hey, bud. Ooh. Have a look at that spider. This is a nice sized Texas brown tarantula. Woo! Come on, you're grumpy. Now this would be considered an adult, and I do believe that this is an adult female. They do get a bump bigger than this, but this is a pretty nice sized one here. Tarantulas are going to be your top spider out here. You will get wolf spiders that will get pretty big. Tarantulas are definitely one of the biggest ground spider species out here, and they're going to be eating everything that they can get. I understand why people are creeped out by them. Tarantulas are super heavy-bodied burrow dwellers, and under these rocks we're just getting a slight view of those burrows. Now this time of year there's actually not a lot of these guys out. March, kind of that early springtime, these things are deep underground, so finding them under rocks has not been easy. Let me tell you, we've been out here flipping pretty much the entire day. And as you can see, it's overcast, kind of close to the end of the day, and this is the biggest one that we've gotten so far. Now in the summertime, these spiders will be out on the move at night, hunting around, moving between rock ledges, and basically just living their life out here. But this time of year, you are not going to see a bunch of tarantulas out. You've got to look hard for them. Now this would not be the largest bug out here. One of the largest, absolutely beastly arthropods that you're going to be seeing out here is the giant desert centipede, or as I like to call them here, Texas redheads. Huge big centipedes. They get about 8 to 9 inches long. They are just absolute beasts. They will eat pretty much anything out here, including tarantulas. Lots of rodent species, other tarantulas, large wolf spiders, and your centipedes are what's mostly going to be preying on your tarantulas, but for the most part, the main reason that these guys don't live to adulthood is simply because they don't get enough food. They have to outcompete each other. Oftentimes they'll even eat each other. Now at the beginning there, this spider started really moving, but she's just skittish, that's all. They're not a spider species to be concerned about, despite having massive fangs. I'm looking at those fangs now. Huge big things. Great species to have out here, and I'm so glad we got to show you guys a nice sized Louisiana brown tarantula. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out the time that we found the Texas red-headed centipede. Really fun adventure, that one, and I will see you guys next time. Alright, time to get you back under your rock. Alright, see you, little fella. Under your rock. Boop, boop. There we go.